pounds if we're using pounds. And the weight that they will be putting up overhead will be 325 pounds or 147.5 kilos. Just like you said, the weight keeps getting ramped up.
Now let's put this into perspective, because the over 40 masters with the likes of Zydrunas Savickas in there, Rauno Heinlers, pro strongmen are lifting the same weights as this under 105 class.
Yeah, and they are big and open division athletes.
This is
open weight category
yes,
athletes.
International open weight class weights we will see in this under 105 kilo class. Just shy of 150 kilos being pressed overhead.
Incredible. This is my body weight, a little bit heavier than my current body weight that they are pressing up for reps.
It's an exciting class. Some fantastic athletes.
Do I see Andrew Clayton? He has competed in the Opens. He has competed at Giants Live, at a Giants Live qualifier. He unfortunately had a almost career-ending knee injury.
I remember watching that.
Yeah,
that was
in
the
Martinsville,
North
Indiana.
American Open.
Correct.
Very good overhead lifter.
Such a strong athlete, and it's really good to see him back here at this stage. Andrew Clayton in lane 2, Yuri Ohonovsky in lane 3 from Ukraine, and
Matt
lane 4.
McKeegan, who is another of my athletes competing, and he's got a chance of challenging for this title.
Clayton is off.
Clayton, we know how good he is overhead. I believe he was going for a world record on the axle or an American record on the axle when he injured himself.
He was.
We know how strong he is overhead. Good to see him back.
This is a redemption of sorts. We've got 7 full-size barrels on top of this apparatus, and Clayton is already at 7.
That's going to be challenging for any of these athletes.
It is.
This is a heavy weight. And look at that. Excellent. Reminding everyone, 147.5 kilos, 325 pounds for reps.
Clayton gets 9 reps.
On 9 repetitions. Solid performance there by Andrew Clayton. And good to see him back competing.
Similar weights that we would find at Giants Live, at World's Strongest Man. And this is for the under 105 category. This is a... You have to earn every bit of the victory here today.
Yeah, Dan Hughes separating himself from the chasing pack there. That 6th repetition is big points for Dan. And then we have 5 athletes tied with 5 repetitions, all scoring good points.
And then a third of the field will make a joke of it. That
I
makes for
agree
a good show.
100%. That should be the spread there, and it makes for a good show, like you said. And it really tests the abilities of the athlete, gives it a level playing field, and doesn't sugarcoat the reality of what it's like to, well, at least for the men's open division, what it's going to be like to compete at Giants Live or prospectively World's Strongest Man down the route, and for the other weighted class athletes to wear that title of World's Strongest. You got to earn it. You absolutely have to earn it. And when you're the world's strongest, you can lift heavy things, and you can do it well.
Record holder
right at the Giants Live Martinsville event in Indiana. Yeah,
incredible.
And that is what the one that took out his knee.
That's
right.
When
he reattempted the new one.
Yeah, when he was attempting to beat Eddie Hall's record, that's when he hurt his knee.
Look at Andrew just sprinting down the course.
Okay, this is going to be unless he messes up now, he's going to win this event.
Andrew has also run marathons in the past. He is a hybrid athlete of sorts.
If you want to look him up on Instagram, his literal name is Running Strongman on Instagram, and here he's showing what he's made out of.
He is happy with that.
He does run
fast.
indeed.
Andrew Clayton, 14.99 seconds. Andrew is here to make a statement, a triumphant comeback after dealing with injury, coming down from the heavyweight division, competing in the 105s.
And before this, also competing in marathons, running.
Yes, a long-distance endurance athlete as well. He has also competed in powerlifting. He is a show de force in many ways, and he is here to contest his ability in becoming the world's strongest man under 105 kilos.
Gutsky, Diver, Loy, and Clayton, our final 4 athletes in the under 105 class.
Diver moving very well, as is Clayton. See a little bit more strain out of Clayton than Diver, but
just starting to slow down there on rep number 5.
Clayton taking a knee, as is Diver. Loy also on rep 5.
So this is interesting. We've seen a number of 8, 9s, and 10s. These are our current leaders. Justin Loy adding to his total. Solid performance there, 6 reps. 6 reps for 3 of the athletes there.
And then a two-way tie between Clayton and Loy, unless there is another athlete with 6 reps.
There could be another page with 6. Let's just wait and see. There we
go.
go.
a 6-way tie with 6
tie.
reps, and a 6-way tie with 5 reps, unless there's more on the next page.
So our under 105 athletes, Dan Hughes and Andrew Clayton, both at the top of the table. They're tied on 108.5 points. Justin Loy not too far behind, 103.5.
This is a massive series loss, 350 pounds at the very end. This would be a challenging bag for us to shoulder. Like you said, look at big Andrew Clayton there in lane number 4. And we have Justin Loy, USA, lane 3, Sean Diver, Ireland, lane number 2, and Alex Sukup, USA, in lane 1. Loy and Clayton, I'm watching. These guys are precise machines. The Sukup cannot be counted out, nor can Diver. Look at Clayton.
He is flying through those early bags.
Competed at the heavyweight division and excelled, overcoming injury.
Look at this.
Clayton onto the 350. He has the power. He has the time. And
he's going to do it.
He has a 350.
Yes.
Andrew Clayton. The hammer fist to the bag at the very end there.
Andrew Clayton becomes our first athlete to lift this 350-pound bag.
Did he just get on it and start slapping it? That was a...
And surprisingly, Justin Loy is struggling here with that 3rd bag.
Andrew Clayton just ready to show he is back.
He was
and stronger than ever. Might be lighter than his former self. But wow. He is a machine. Just incredible power from Clayton.
You know, there was no wasting any time as well. He just moved on and got, here we go. We can see a replay here. First sandbag, no problem. Quick in between each sandbag as well. There's no time wasted whatsoever. Hand goes underneath, thrusts the bag straight up to the shoulder.
How reactive that hand switches to the underneath.
Look
at that.
This is a well-practiced athlete as well. He knows exactly where his hands are going to go on every single attempt. Squeeze bear hugging that sandbag. Needs to get it over the knees. He does, hand underneath. And once again, there's no having to bump it up the chest and fight against it. Every bag went from lap to shoulder in one smooth motion. Yes, he's enjoying
a showman, both during and after the whistle blows.
So we're going to get some scores up on the board for you guys. And Andrew Clayton with that was, for me, the most impressive thing I've seen all day.
After event 4, Andrew Clayton with a half-a-point lead over Dan Hughes in first place with 31.5 points. Hughes with 31 points. In third, Nicholas Hine, 24.5 points.
The year that Evan Singleton won, and that was an overhead axle press. He's had a couple of operations since then. But some would say he is the lineal champion, and Camby and Furman, their victories were hollow victories without Clayton. We'll find out just how good Clayton is, but he certainly seems to be back to full form. This will be a real test for those knees, though.
He's looking good so far. And if his performance in the qualifying rounds is any sign of what he's about to give, we are in for a show.
So Hughes in the car and waiting, looking over to Andrew Clayton, taking his time. He knows he's the big show in the 105s. Can he deliver here? 11.23 seconds, the time to beat by Loy. Aaron West gets us underway, and it is a tremendous start by Clayton, who's starting to accelerate through the gears at the halfway point. Stumbles, goes down, but finishes off still, I think, in the fastest time, and he knows it.
Even with that stumble, a fast time, and very clearly the knees are looking strong and able to take the load and the recovery of that small drop.
And 9.81 seconds is our confirmation of the fastest time so far, the only man sub 10 seconds in this category. And remember, 408 kilos on the back for 15 meters is extraordinary as we look back at what we just saw.
Another event win for Clayton. Even with that drop, Colin, just recovering in the blink of an eye. Being a taller athlete, those long strides really play an advantage.
I mean, it's always good if it swings forward, as it were, or up with the bonnet, the front of the car. It just allows you to then bully a little bit with your arms. But if it starts to swing down, it's much harder to control it and stop it biting into the concrete. And there's confirmation. Andrew Clayton takes the win here in the men's under 105 in the car walk.
Our final heat approaches the arena. Justin Loy in lane 1 and Andrew Clayton in lane number 2. This is going to be a fun one to watch.
New leader, Nicholas Hine, dumbbell ladder, 3 dumbbells in 1678.
His knees look strong, so he just bounced back from the operations he's had and ready to showcase it here today.
Well, that car walk, his knees were no problem there at all. Loy making a mistake on that first dumbbell, did not wait for the down signal. That's better. Clayton is flying through these first 2. On to number 3, 200 pounds. Easy. So much time left.
Andrew Clayton lining up the shot.
Just needs to stabilize, get it balanced. There it is.
Andrew Clayton gets the down command from his judge. Our men's under 105, Andrew Clayton with an 11-point lead over Nicholas Hine. Andrew could go into this event and do absolutely nothing and still come out the champion. Nicholas Hine and Dan Hughes, only half a point separate them. They will be fighting for the podium. Clayton is on a warpath to glory to prove himself as the best in the world. And the best in the world wants to soak up every chance at experience he gets. And the experience does not get better than the OSG arena.
Absolutely not. This is for all the marbles. This is for the glory, and this is for just really putting a final stamp that you are the best 105 in the entire world.
Clayton moving fast. He's got long levers. Really quick on his technique. Hine seemingly no match for this man's strength. Andrew Clayton to 375. And it's up onto the 400 for Andrew.
Will he be the first one to lift this last stone?
Andrew Clayton cranks back a little too soon. The pressure is on. Nick Hine. 15 seconds remain. I think 400 is just out of Andrew's power. But he knows he is the world's strongest man under 105. Andrew Clayton loading himself to that 6th platform. I wonder where Clayton's time matches up with Parker's. I think it was significantly faster, but we will need an official confirmation. Regardless, congratulations to Andrew Clayton on an amazing comeback. The world's strongest man under 105 kilograms. With a 5-stone run in 30.84 seconds, he has an event win and further secures his foothold as the best on the planet. And honestly, I'm not surprised. It is really great to see him doing so well. Look at that, a 61.5 point finish for Andrew Clayton in first place. Dan Hughes, only half a point ahead of Nicholas Hine. 45 points versus 44.5 points. But that podium of top 3 really separates themselves from the pack with a tremendous display of strength throughout the entire event this weekend here in Daytona, Florida.
And this year's champion is the world's strongest 105 kilogram man, landslide victory. He is now this 2 times here, 3 times as a world champion. Three-time OSG, two-time world champion, heavyweight pro, lightweight pro, marathon runner, Ironman. I think he wrestled a shark in one, too. Either way, he is the strongest man in 105 kilograms in 2022. Andrew Clayton.